Welcome back, guys, to Truth Bombs and Hot Flushes, segment 2, our topic, divorce. And welcome back to the beautiful Kooveshnie. Just getting back from our last few questions. There's just been something that's been playing on my mind regarding, I think this is also coming from a mother's perspective. How have you navigated custody? I do know some divorces end quite well and exes are amicable with one another, and you're always putting the kids first and taking yourself out of the situation. So you work together for your kids. I just want to know how's your journey been with regards to that?
So that pretty picture you painted about the amicable part of working together for the kids, and just, making sure that we can co-parent has not been a reality for me. It's very difficult to co-parent with somebody that is constantly trying to work against you. But with that being said, I've learned to just enjoy the moments I have with my kids. We have shared custody, so now I realize that my time with my kids has been split in half, which has been decided by the court, and it's something that I had to deal with. So every moment is so much more special that we have together.
For sure.
Creating a safe space for them is so important to me because there's a lot that they're dealing with as well. And I think just being grateful for every moment we have, that's the most important thing.
No, definitely. For sure. Sorry, I'm going to be a bit unfiltered here.
Right.
And again, just my opinion, guys. But I think because, as I've mentioned before, I personally haven't been through divorce, but I feel walking through the path with friends and family, I feel like it should not be such a tedious process. I think as adults, sometimes, we make mistakes, and yes, we're all human. But we've got to own that. And we've got to take ourselves out of it. And when there's kids involved, I think, look at the grander picture. Look at the lives that you want your kids to have, and how you want them to grow up. Don't mess them up psychologically, and come together amicably. Because at the end of the day, the both of you have created these beautiful beings. So there was beauty that has come out of your marriage. So it's just me and my unfiltered opinion of, guys and women, if your relationships are ending and divorces come your way, can we just be adult enough, and put our kids first? Because you don't want that repetition. You want them to see two loving adults. They're just maybe not living together, and that's okay, But yeah, just my opinion. Sorry, in Kooveshnie, I had to say that. I think by now you know how passionate I feel about this. And I know your kids as well. So they're special little beings. They're special beings. So who were you, or should I say, who are you now after all these layers have been pulled off? So you've now had divorce thrown at you. The label of being a partner and a wife has all been pulled off. Who are you? Who's Kooveshnie now?
So Kooveshnie is a resilient being that has learned how to navigate through life. I think, we hold so many titles of being daughter, being wife, being mother, being, even in the work environment. But to find ourselves again and heal from all our traumas is so important. So finding myself, I'm still finding myself. I'm still learning a lot about myself. But the part that I like is the resilience and, the willingness to move through life and just embrace it.
Yeah, so it takes me back to when you mentioned in the first segment of how you gained that power when your life was threatened. So going back to that, what for you actually surprised you about yourself during the healing process of everything?
The ability to navigate through challenges, because it's so easy to fall into a slump. to become bitter, to just hate the world. And, you know, you see all these wonderful things around you and you wish that you had it too. But there's so much to be grateful in what you currently have. And right now I'm at a point where I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful for all the blessings. And the life that I'm living now is what I once wished for and prayed for.
That's
so,
it.
Yeah.
I think we get so when we're in a situation, and I think in any type of uncomfortable, dark place, which we've all found ourselves in, whether it's divorce, whether it's mental health, whether it's, you know, but you can't see the light and you just feel like, you know, but to gather yourself up, you know, and say, no, I'm going to get going. And then you fast forward into the future and you look back at that person and you're like, how far have I come?
Absolutely.
You know?
So now I believe that challenges are just opportunities for growth. And every challenge, I'm like, okay, I can do this. And I like pumping myself up and knowing that I can overcome this next challenge because there's a beautiful rainbow at the end of it.
Oh, lovely. And there's a huge fire burning inside of you, raging actually. I also feel like with society, generally there's a lot of judgments that come along. So have you felt like you were ever in a situation like that where when the divorce was out there, it's like Kooveshnie is now divorced or going through a divorce? Were there judgments that came away? Because we live in a very judgmental society. You know, it's a sad thing, but it's the reality. How did you experience any of that?
So the blessing and the blessed part of it is that I did not have much of those judgments, you know, directed at me. It was COVID. We were in isolation a lot of the time. Also, we were well known in the community, this trophy family, and more than anything, what I'm grateful for is the love and support that I received from everyone.
Yeah.
You know, going into restaurants and the waitress would say, Kooveshnie, I pray for you and your kids.
Oh,
that for me was just God showering his love over me. And I'm grateful for that part. So, yeah, I know judgment is difficult, and there are a lot of women out there that have to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
And I think that's what holds them back as well. And that's what restrains them from accepting and saying, right, I'm closing off this chapter and I want to move on. It's because of that societal judgment.
And that fear that comes with
that
it.
comes, exactly.
Yes.
But now we're healing. Now we are healing. This is healing. And I know the process, the journey hasn't been easy. And I would think there's, you know, in future there's a lot more obstacles that are going to be thrown your way, right? But you are in full-blown healing mode. So, like, what has helped you heal? I'm a firm believer in therapy, number one. But did you go that avenue, or did you have just a community or a village of people surrounding you?
So because I had dealt with infidelity many times through the marriage, this time I decided that I needed to seek professional help. And I know there's a lot of stigma attached to seeking professional help, but there's nothing wrong with it because we live in a time where it's easily accessible. We have that opportunity to grow and heal, and we might as well just take it. Yeah. So my therapist used a treatment called BWRT, which is called brainwave recursive therapy, which basically helps to restructure the brain waves around certain thought patterns. Okay. So one of the issues that I had was being threatened, my life being threatened, and it had created a lot of trauma for me. For sure. So she used that therapy to help me heal from that, and it played a huge role. So I also looked for a life coach, and she assisted me with something with the most important value in life called gratitude. Practicing gratitude daily changed my viewpoint on life completely. And as you said, leaning into that, you know, that kind of society you have and your people means so much, because you have to have that one friend that you can call and scream and cry and just let it all out with. Yes. Having the support of my parents and my family, especially with the kids, that was important. And having that willingness in me to grow and evolve, and you know, for personal development, to grow my skills, to become a better person every day, and to grow my relationship with God.
Oh, absolutely. Wow. So you've really done the work. Yeah. Hence, this is what we see today. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why there's a taboo or stigma placed with therapy, because the world needs therapy. If you find yourself a good therapist,
Yes.
you know, I mean, I'm sitting here right now thinking, I want to know more about this treatment, this therapy, because we're all battling with, you know, we all are perfect in our imperfections. And I think once we accept that, judgments slowly fall, you know. So, yeah, we need to chat after this a bit more about this
Well,
therapy.
The reality of the situation is that we, as adults, we are all struggling with some sort of trauma. And it's either we ignore it and put a band-aid over it, as you said, or we are able to heal from it and become better, brighter human beings from it.
For sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, lovely, lovely. The other thing that I know a lot of couples in divorce struggle with, especially if it's a situation of where there's been an affair that's now resulted in a marriage ending, is forgiveness. I think forgiveness of your ex-partner, and also comes in forgiveness for you. Because I think in the whole process, you forget to give yourself grace of what you've gone through, where you've been and where you are. But you know there has to be a time where there has to be a release in order for healing to go on. So with regards to this, what did your process look like? Have you forgiven? Yeah.
So, bitterness is an ugly thing. Okay, so I choose to not have that stuff running through my veins. I've chosen to forgive. The easy part was forgiving my ex, because at the end of the day, he's still the father of my kids. And in order for them to foster a healthy relationship or good relationship together, I needed to forgive him to help that process. The part that I struggle and still struggle with is forgiving myself. I wish I had known better, but we have to learn to accept it for what it is. So that part of forgiving myself, I think, would be a constant process, mostly because of my kids that are involved and watching the struggles that they have to deal with now, that kind of tug at my soul.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think yes, it's going to be a process, but I think the biggest one is the forgiveness of your ex. I feel it's been released, and yeah, then growth happens, you know. But yeah, just listening to you, and I feel like you're going to be doing so much for so many. So you really got to feel proud of yourself for that. Really, just give yourself that pat on the shoulder, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be sitting in that seat right now, and answering the questions that you're answering. Especially keeping your kids in mind, still keeping your ex in mind, and having the grace for everybody. For me, it shows really the type of woman you are, and you're something else. I think a lot. So, as we mentioned before, there's lots of beliefs that we grew up with about relationships and marriages and what have you. So, going forward, would you like to unlearn some of those beliefs? And you've got 2 daughters. Going forward, what would in comparison to what you were told about marriage, relationships, etc., what would you like to unlearn as well as pass forward to your daughters?
So that concept of a relationship is made of two halves coming together as one is absolutely bull.
There we go.
It is so
Yeah,
important
yeah.
for us to be whole, complete, and fulfilled by ourselves. We do not need to complete another person, neither do we need to depend on somebody else for our happiness.
Complete yourself. Now we get to this is something I really want to know, because there's a lot that comes with this. The surname change. How do you feel about this? Do you think you own it? You should keep it? Or actually, I don't want to be associated with it? But then also, there's quite a cost that comes along with having to change all of this. And the logistics of it, I'm sure that plays a part as well in, do I change or not? And also, are you, with your circumstance, were you forced to change?
So I'm currently in that dilemma. With my opinion of the surname, it has nothing to do with the person that I acquired it from.
Okay.
To get that straight.
Yes.
It's part of the legacy that my children carry. It's part of who they are. So for me, I think that's one of the considering factors. Also, I'm just divorcing one person, not the entire family.
Yes.
Not the entire family. So I still have a strong sense of community in that family and a lot of people that I regard as very close to me.
That is just so lovely.
So it's not about the surname. For now, can I just speak Kooveshnie?
Yeah. And you know, you touched on something very important about having a relationship with your ex-in-laws, you know, because you're right, you did not divorce them, you divorced one person, that was your ex. And it shouldn't, and especially if you've had a good relationship, why not continue that? Because you have 3 kids that you want them to have a relationship with, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, that's I love that you still have a relationship with them, and
It's important.
very. So yeah, as we've touched on custody battles earlier, co-parenting. How's that been? How's it been not having your kids in your home 24/7?
I think apart from the divorce, the greatest challenge for me is what my kids have to go through. So no such thing as co-parenting because it's not the pretty picture is not possible. But yeah, just finding a safe space for them and making sure that they can speak their voice and feel comfortable in mommy's love. And building that healthy vision of what life should look like for them, because I'm in charge of that part. And making sure that I still instill the values and the morals and everything that I envisioned for them when they were born, it still needs to continue despite the situation. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. It's just co-parenting is huge. It's really difficult.
I would think so, because it's like and you've got kids that are still in school.
Yes.
So, like, to not be in sync with schedules and you know, it's and I'm sure it's difficult, and also not knowing how my kids doing when they're not with me.
That is,
I think,
it crushes my soul. That the time apart from them, just to know if they had a good meal, if they warm, tucked in bed, because in a toxic relationship, the kids are used as weapons. So. You know, I go a week without speaking to them. They go a week without speaking to me. And that causes some sort of trauma. Yeah. It's difficult. But it is what it is. We deal with what we have. And the week that we have together are our magic moments. And that's what brings life into our world and pushes us through.
Yes. Again, even with co-parenting, I'm going to give my unfiltered truth here again. Co-parenting can be actually easy. Why not have communication with kids? Have communication with mum and dad on an everyday basis, not just when it's mummy's week or it's daddy's week. Come on, I mean, again, it's just about being adults and putting our kids' needs first. And it would just be so much easier, if you could whisper one or two or three little somethings to Kooveshnie all those years ago when you were slap bang in the middle of separation, divorce, and. What do you think you would whisper to her?
To believe in yourself more, to trust your gut, and not, believe in yourself by not doubting, because I think I doubted. When you're in a toxic relationship, it's so easy to start losing yourself in that process. So just to be strong enough in knowing who I am and what I stand for, that I think would be the most important thing.
Yeah, sure, 100%. To just cling on to who you are and just don't give up.
Yes.
Don't give up.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. So, we are about truth bombs and hot flushes. So what's your one truth bomb would you like to actually leave our listeners with?
So it's the law of conservation of energy, right?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Into this. Albert Einstein.
Yes.
So energy can neither be transformed or created, but merely moved from one form to another, right? So with that, I think it's so important for us to know that no matter what challenges come at us, no matter what we're dealing with, we have the power to transform that energy into what we wish to create it to be. So we are powerful beings. And that's why I said in the first episode, I'm not just Kooveshnie, the lady that got divorced. Mm-hmm. It's about dealing with challenges and how we can rise above and overcome it. And we have the power to change that energy into something magnificent.
Absolutely. Well, guys, you'll have heard it from the powerhouse herself, Kooveshnie. It has been so lovely chatting to you. I wish we could actually go on, and we can go on for hours. But thank you so much once again for being on our show and touching subjects that I know are difficult but also so dear to you. Thanks so much. And guys, remember, if any of you ladies out there, even men, if you have any questions pertaining to our topic for the last two segments, which is divorce, please feel free to pop us a message via email, DM us, pop us a message on any of our social media platforms, and we will gladly get back to you and reply to you. Even if you have a question directed to Kooveshnie, you're more than welcome to. So with that being said, thanks for listening, guys, and catch us on the next episode of Truth Bombs and Hot Flushes, where midlife gets real, raw, and unfiltered.
Skimsy, the producer.